Today I read the book Lost and Found, chapter 25. This called Unison,
Discord, Unison,
Unison Harmony. Harmony.
Harmony.
Harmony. The principal's office was small. As Jay arrived, the population of the little room rose to six, two school people, two parents, and a pair of twins. There were chairs for everyone, and the extra
Furniture.
furniture made the room feel that much smaller. Jay sat in the only empty seat, right next to Ray, and as he did, he glanced sideways. He knew from the look on his brother's face that things had already been unpleasant, pleasant, unpleasant. Their chairs were jammed together. So as they sat there, straight and still, Jade's right arm was touching Ray's left, and Ray gave him
Immediately.
immediately immediately Ray gave him a tiny nod. Jay replied by flexing a muscle. A signal a signal so small that no one else knew it happened. But the twins had opened a line of communication. Jay's anger was still fresh in his mind, but this was bigger than that. They were in this thing together, and their connect gave each of them some comfort, which did not last long. The principal cleared her throat and looked around quickly from face to face. Well, now that we're all here, I'd like to begin by saying that Mrs. Cardiff and I and the whole staff at Trapped Elementary School are very distressed that his situation has happened. I've been principal here for nine years, and I thought taught
Hmm.
math taught math here for 7 years before that, and we've never had anything like this happen
16년 동안 교사실에
before.
있었는데 이런 일은 처음이에요.
Mrs. Cardiff quickly added. Of course, we are very glad that this situation hasn't resulted in any mishap to either of your sons, because that's our first concern. Always, we want every child to be safe and careful, careful, and surprised. And we take that responsibility very seriously.
And super
Surprise. I know supervise, and we take them responsibility very seriously. The principal nodded at the nurse comment and went on. Now, of course, we'll need to contact the school your son attended in Colorado to be certain that the students' files they sent here were complete, because the way the information was transmitted to us was confusing, to say the least. And our school district will be reviewing all of our new students' registration this year to be certain that nothing like this can ever happen again. Mrs. Lonsdale Lone Star, Starpit, and
Lonsdale.
Lonsdale. Mrs. Lonsdale
Stop.
stopped and cleared her throat. And after glancing at Ray and Jay, she said, "And we'll also have to determine the appropriate appropriate conse- consequence consequence
Mhm.
for the boy for skinning several days,
For skipping.
skipping
Skipping.
mm, for skipping several days of school, and that will be settled after I talk to the
Intendant.
superintendent. 아, 이거 어렵다.
Superintendent.
Independence가 낫다. Because we may be looking at the suspension, or rather suspensions, As the principal said that word, Jay and Ray felt the tremor as each of them flinched.
Flinched. Suspension.
A suspension was a bad thing. Brought on a school record.
Record. 성적표.
School record. Record.
기록해요.
Permanence. Your friend to talk to the superintendent. Superintendent.
자기 확인해보자고 이거를 연필 줘봐. 봐봐. Super 하고
Intendant. Superintendent.
Superintendent.
액센트가 인이야. 아닐 것
슈퍼
같은데.
따르고 인이라서 접두사하고 어근이 붙었다고 해도 이 두 개의 소리가 겹쳐지지는 않아요.
Superintendent.
왜냐면은 이거를 정확하게
Superintendent 이렇게
상관없는데 이거랑 보통 있잖아. don't 요거는 전미사고 여기 슈퍼는 접두사야. 근데 전미사하고 접두사가 어떤 말이 있다고 해서 겹쳐져서 소리를 내지는 않아. 왜냐하면 정확하게 떨어져서 소리가 나야지 이 의미 전달이 되거든. 그래서 superintendent 이런 식으로 정확하게 소리가 들리게 발음을 해 사람들이.
Superintendent.
그러니까 superintendent 이렇게 안 한다고.
그런가? Mrs. Grayson asked, because won't that sort of be making this whole things public? Wouldn't it make just as much sense to handle this yourself, right here at the school? The principal said, we've had two serious incidents here, so the consequence need to be serious as well. That just stands to reason. Mrs. Grayson nodded and said, we agree, Mrs. Lonsdale, but I think I can explain what my husband meant. You see, we both work for an insurance company. I'm a crime analyst. I'm a crime analyst looking at situation, determining if there might have been any fraud and dishonesty, anything unusual.
Dishonesty H 발음 없어.
Dishonesty. 아, H가 발음이 없어? honest가 아니야?
honest라는 정직한이라는
음.
데서 dishonest는
dishonest.
정직하지 못한인데 그러니까 H 발음 없이 가는 거야.
아, dishonest. honesty. Anything unusual. And my husband is a crime adjuster, the person who goes out and talks with the people involved. He is sort of an investigator. So I think he's asking if there's a way to keep this from becoming more difficult than it already is. Mr. Grayson nodded. Because, I mean, can't you can't you imagine the headline in the local newspaper? School lost sixth grade per week. That couldn't be good. Not for the school or for our family. Jay felt definite, definite, definite. Nudge. Defined it nudgy from Ray, then a steady pressure against his arm as their dad kept talking. And Jay now nudged back. And Jay nudged back. And thus nudging meant, are you hearing what I'm hearing? Because it sounds like that is on the attack. Defending us.
이거 묵비권 쓰는 거야, 요놈들.
그렇지. Turning toward
너지 하면 입 다물고 유리카 잘하는지 인 거.
Turning towards the north, Mr. Grayson went on. You mentioned that you're glad neither of the boy had a mishap. My wife and I are glad about that too. We are very glad the boy are safe. And we are also glad that no lawyer needed to get involved in this situation. The principal narrowed her eyes and said, I'm still not sure I understand exactly what you're saying, Mr. Grayson. Jay wasn't sure either, and neither was Ray, because the boy had never heard their parents talking to other grown-ups so seriously. Or maybe they just hadn't listened much before, but they were certainly listening now. Each of them sitting here, barely breathing, except now. They were practically elbowing each other to punctuate the point being made by both sides, because it was clear that there were sides now. This was starting to feel like a better. Mr. Grayson looked the principal straight in the eyes and said, what I am saying is that I am hoping that you will leave this Disciplinarily,
디스 빼고 얘기해.
disciplinarily.
디스 빼고 얘기해. disciplinary. 거기다 dis를 붙인 거야.
이거 자체도 지금 읽기가 힘들었어.
disciplinary.
dis는 근데 두고 disciplinarily consequences for our boys up to their mother and me. They lied and they skipped school. But bad things, and they will be punished. At home, I can guarantee that. But here at school, 어렵다. 오늘 많이 나오네. I really think it would be best for our son if they could simply get on with their work. To get past this incident.
이게 정확하게 guarantee가 아니라 봐봐. U 발음 있잖아.
guarantee.
그러면 쉬워. guarantee. guarantee. 이건 쉬워. guarantee는 어렵거든. guarantee는 쉬워.
I can guarantee that. But here at school, I really think it would be best for our son if they could simply get on with their work. To get past this incident. Quickly, starting today, the principal frowned and said, "But they've broken so many rules that." Mr. Grayson interrupted.
Yes. But as I see it,
Ray and Jay previous school did send you school information about each boy. 2 files correct. Mrs. Lonsdale not. And Mrs. Grayson said, "And your school lost one of those files by mistake. One student lost correct." Again, the principal not. And sounding more and more like a prosecutor. Turn the tone. Prosecutor. In a
그러니까 법정에서처럼 말이야.
courtroom. Mr. Grayson said it was certainly wrong for the boy to take advantage of that. However, and this is my main point, it was the school mistake that allowed this situation to develop in the first place. Someone might have called the school mistake negligence. 요거 negligence. Mistake negligence. 어려운 말 맞습니다. But negligence is such as present term, a legal term. So I think we should just call this whole thing a mistake and move on. Jay raised
his hand rising.
His hand rise. rising 했지라고 그러죠. 우리 rising인데. Jay raised his hands. Our eyes turned to him. And the nurse said, "Yes, Ray." Jay가 손 들었는데. And Jay said, "I'm Jay." And the nurse said, "Right, sorry, Ray, the one with the bruise one with the bruise on his face. Do you have something to add, Jay?" Mrs. Cardiff was glad for this interruption, because the exchange between Mr. Grayson and the principal was getting a bit too heated.
내가 많이
And
좋아?
by the
이렇게 열심히
look
나한테
in
들러붙어.
Mrs.
뭐 이렇게 됐다. 하게 와 자꾸.
Rose's eyes. 그런 거야.
으흠.
It was about to burst into play. Jay was feeling the heat too, feeling responsible for this giant mess. He nodded at the nurse. I just want to say that this was all my idea. I want to see what it would be like to be at school without being a trip for a while. And I am really sorry. The whole thing was my idea. So I am the one who should be in trouble. Ray shook his head and said, I went along with all of it. So it's my part too. And I'm just as sorry as you are. And I should get punished just as much
너못
too.
읽겠는데 이게 되게 안 넘어가는데 지금.
So stop trying to make everything too all about you, okay? And instinctively, 진짜로다. instinct.
없고 tively.
그거 바로 읽었다니까. 근데 이거를 처음 읽는 단어잖아. 그러니까 맞추고 볼 수밖에 없어. instinctively. 그렇지. Jay hurried back and punched Ray on the shoulder hard, which made the nurse gasp. And which made Mrs. Grayson shout. Jay, you
stop that.
Shout,
Jay.
Jay,
you
stop that.
거기까지.
But the angry Jay had been feeling just early.
저번에도 early 했었다가 또 earlier
come rushing back. And he brought out. You don't know if I'm Jay or not. Mom, nobody does except him. 쉬운 데는 따라 읽지 마.
He said, jerking his tongue at Ray. And nobody cared who we really are. Either one of us.
We are just the twin, and I am sick of it. Mrs. Grayson's eyes brimmed with tears. Why, of course, we care who you are, sweetheart, but of you.
And we know who you are.
We do. Oh, yeah.
안 믿어주는 거는
when I stay home last Thursday. Did you know it was me and not Ray? No. And when we went to the mall on Friday, I was wearing Ray's sweatshirt and sunglasses and hat. That was me. And you never knew the thing. And if Ray hadn't go up on Saturday, I would have gone skating too.
책가방 넣어야 되는데 넣고 옷은 옷 넣는 데 갖다 놓고 양말 갖다 놓는 데 갖다 놔라.
You'll never
안 들리네.
know who we are for sure.
너 가만 안 놔둘 것 같아.
Unless you do the cracker check. Mrs. Cardiff said. The cracker check. Mr. Grayson nodded. Ray got a cracker on his right ankle, and Mrs. Cardiff made a mental note of that possible possibly useful bit of information. The small office got quite at Mrs. Gratian that it at her eyes with the tissue the principal had her, and the angry feelings that adult had been starting to express began to drain out of the room,
재민이
repressed
있었지,
by
제육대로?
concern for the boy, and also curiosity, curiosity, because this glimpse into the realm of twin was completely new for Mrs. Cardiff and Mrs. Lonsdale, and Ray and Jay parents were getting some fresh view as well. Mrs. Cardiff felt it was time to step in as a mediator, one of her strong points. She smiled at Jay and then Ray. What I'm hearing is that what you two did as a way to deal with this problem of being constantly mistaken for each other. Of feeling like you are always over, overshadowed by each other. Is that right? But boy not. And Jay said, yes, like forever. But you boss see that the way you chose to behave wasn't helpful or honest. Right, the nurse asked again, but boy not. Mrs. Cardiff continued. Well, this problem isn't really going to go away. No matter what we do. No matter what we do. It's just something each of you have to learn to deal with as best you can. You can see that, right? I'm sure you can, but there might be some way the school could help. Can you think of any? Jay spoke up immediately. Could I be in the different homeroom? And Ray nodded. Yeah, that would be good. The principal said, we can make that happen right away. And I don't see why we can't try to put you into as many different classes as possible. How about that? More nodding with the parents joining is as well. Mrs. Cardiff first, because she really wanted to get this next part right, and she didn't want to sound like a nurse, or the teacher, or even like her parents. She wanted to sound like her friend. She looked into each face and said, but you know, boys, if this problem is going to get better, most of the work is going to be your, not our. We can help, but you have to be pertinent with us and help us, because I'm sure you're not the same. Not two people ever are. You have to let us get to know you. Can you do that? And try to be more pertinent with each other too. Ray and Jay looked at each other, and the signal no one else could see past between them. And they both turned to the nurse, nodded, and said, yes, I'm perfect. Unison. The principal turned to Mr. and Mrs. Grayson and said, I think your idea about how to handle this problem are just right. To help the boys move ahead with their schoolwork. And I thank you both for your understanding about our mistake. Both parents nodded and smiled, and Mrs. Grayson said, "And thank you too. You are not trying to be difficult, honestly. We just went to what best of the twins, I mean for Jay and Ray." And Mrs. Rosedale nodded back and said, "Exactly what we want as well." All the grown-ups were suddenly on their best behavior. It felt like the sun had come out after a big thunderstorm, and the boys picked up on that. Ray snaked a quick look at Jay, who was snaking a quick look at him, and it saw relief on the other face, and both looked away quickly because this would have been the wrong time for the smile. But for the moment, the worst as worst was over, and they knew it. The next 10 minutes were the fury of activity as the principal consulted with the school secretary to separate the twin as much as possible during the school day. Oh, 내 많이 늘었어. Since J was the name already connected with the face in Mrs. Rand's homeroom, it made sense for J to stay put, and Ray would be the one who will to Mrs. about homeroom. Right. In fact, got it. In fact, for that same reason, Jay's schedule stayed as it was, and Ray was given a whole different one, which Ray didn't like up at first, because that meant Jay would remain very child-led partner. But he read his slide. Besides, there were sure to be some nice girls in the other class too, and thought, Ray actually thought he got the better deal because it was like he was going to get a brand new start as himself as Ray Grayson. His new rocker was at the far, far end of the sixth grade hall. First, he would never have to pretend he liked playing soccer again for as long as he lived. And it ended up the only class the boys were going to live together with Jim. They would also be together during sixth grade lunch, but they wouldn't have to sit anywhere near each other unless they chose to. And the uh, social studies report that was due in class today. Jay would turn it in because he'd done most of the work on it, and Ray would have an extra week to finish one of his own. When their schedules were set, Mrs. Lonsdale said, "Jay, you are going from here right to social studies, and this is a note to get you into class right." Turning to Ray, she said, "You are going to the art room, Ray, and here not to explain to Miss Miss Cho, that you are new in the class. And this is a copy of your new schedule. You also need to get textbooks from all your teachers. Shippers, shippers, and lookers from pace to pace. So now it's up to you, and I do not want to hear anything but good news about either of you boys for the rest of the year. Is that understood? Both boys nodded and said, "Yes, Mrs. Lonsdale," in unison. Before they left office, Ray and Jay each got a long hug from their mom, who almost got with you again. And each son also got a strong handshake and a short hug from their dad, who did not almost get weak at all, and, and from the look in his eyes, Jay and Ray knew that their father hadn't been kidding about what he said to the principal during the meeting about the consequences they would face at home. But they would be much better. It would be hour and hour before they would have to deal with their dad again. So immediate, the immediate threat level dropped away to almost zero. The boys left the office together, and when they were about 10 feet down the hall, Ray looked back of his shoulder, and Jay said, "Anybody following us?" Ray said, "No, Mom's watching, but we are on our own." Crane Gateway. Jay said, "Sweet." The brothers walked side by side in silence until they reached the corner where the hallways cross. They stopped it, then looked at each other for a second or two. It didn't feel like looking into a mirror, not at all, and they both grinned. "Amazing week, Hop," Ray said. Jay nodded. Definitely. Hey, I think Julie, Julie Parkman gonna be in your art class class now. Say hi to her for me, okay? Ray smiled. You can count on it. And and when you see Marissa this afternoon, just be yourself. Okay, you think you're cute in a dark, in a dark, in a dark sort of way. Jay registered. Jay registered to urge to punch his brother. Then laugh, 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 laugh. Cute but dark, dark, cute by dark, cute but dark. I can live with that. So listen, have a good one, okay? And maybe I will see you at lunch. Right not. Yeah, maybe so. Jay turned and walked down the main hallway toward social studies, and Ray headed toward the art room. After working in upside direction, up, up, upside, after working in upside direction for about 15 seconds, they each took a look back over their shoulders. I'm Unison. And they both smiled, nodded, and kept working. The end.